What if everything you learned about the pyramids is wrong? Millions of people visit Giza every year, stare up at those massive limestone giants, and ask the same question that has haunted historians, engineers, and archaeologists for centuries. How did they actually build them? Here is the shocking part. After 200 years of modern science, we still do not have a definitive answer. More than 4,500 years ago, along the banks of the Nile River, something extraordinary was happening. Egypt was not just a civilization. It was an obsession with permanence. The land itself seemed designed for greatness. The Nile flooded predictably every year, depositing rich black soil across the desert, turning one of the harshest landscapes on Earth into one of the most fertile. This annual miracle allowed farmers to grow surplus food, which freed up labor, which allowed a society to think beyond mere survival. Egypt unified around 3100 BCE under a king known as Narmer, sometimes called Menes, who brought Upper and Lower Egypt together under a single crown. From this unification, something powerful emerged. A centralized state with enormous resources, a growing population, and a ruling class obsessed with the idea of eternal life. The pharaoh was not simply a king. He was a living god, the intermediary between humanity and the divine forces that controlled the universe. And when a god dies, you do not bury him in a simple grave. You build him a monument that will outlast time itself. The first step pyramid was constructed around 2650 BCE under Pharaoh Djoser, designed by his legendary architect Imhotep, a man so brilliant that later generations literally worshipped him as a deity. But that was just the beginning. 50 years later, the Egyptians decided to think even bigger. The Great Pyramid of Giza, built for Pharaoh Khufu around 2560 BCE, stands as one of the most astonishing engineering achievements in all of human history. It contains approximately 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing between 2.5 and 15 tons. It was the tallest structure on Earth for nearly 4,000 years. And here's what makes this genuinely mind-bending. The base of the Great Pyramid is level to within just 2.1 centimeters across its entire footprint. Modern engineers with laser technology would be proud of that precision. Ancient Egyptians achieved it with wooden tools, copper chisels, and human ingenuity. We do know some things. Workers were not slaves. Archaeological evidence including payroll records, medical care logs, and even graffiti left by work gangs shows that these were skilled laborers, organized into teams with names like Friends of Khufu and Drunkards of Menkaure. They received good food, medical treatment, and were buried with honor near the pyramids they helped build. Recent discoveries of a harbor, administrative buildings, and papyrus documents at Wadi al-Jarf reveal a sophisticated logistical operation supplying the Giza site. But the exact method of lifting and placing those massive stones remains genuinely debated among experts. Ramps, internal spirals, water lubrication, counterweights. Every theory has flaws. None is proven beyond doubt. Beyond the pyramids, Egypt's golden age produced achievements that still shape our world today. Their understanding of medicine was centuries ahead of its time. Their mathematical knowledge laid groundwork for geometry. Their calendar system of 365 days is the ancestor of the one you use right now. Hieroglyphs represent one of humanity's earliest writing systems. And their art, architecture, and spiritual philosophy influenced ancient Greece, Rome, and through them, the entire Western world. Egypt did not fall in a single dramatic moment. It faded through centuries of pressure from multiple directions. Invasions by the Hyksos, the Assyrians, the Persians, the Greeks under Alexander the Great, and finally the Romans all took their turns reshaping the ancient land. Each conqueror was in some ways conquered by Egypt's culture, so powerful and magnetic was its civilization. But the old ways slowly eroded. The last hieroglyphic inscription was carved in 394 CE. The knowledge of how to read them was lost entirely until Napoleon's soldiers found the Rosetta Stone in 1799 and French scholar Jean-François Champollion finally cracked the code in 1822. What Egypt left behind is staggering. The concept of a centralized government, of monumental public architecture, of state-organized religion, of writing as an administrative tool. These ideas spread across the ancient world and never truly disappeared. Every time you look at a government building with columns, every time you see an obelisk in a city square, every time you wonder about life after death, you are brushing against the long shadow of ancient Egypt. The pyramids still stand. Still precise. Still silent. Still refusing to give up all their secrets. And perhaps that is exactly what the ancient Egyptians intended. They wanted to build something that would make future generations stop, stare, and ask questions forever. In that mission, without any doubt, they succeeded completely. Subscribe to Kadim World for more hidden history.